Juiced.GS. As has been reported online and in print, we are now not only the last remaining print publication dedicated to the Apple II, but as of the March issue, we are also the longest running print publication dedicated to the Apple II. The previous record was broken by Softdisk, which ran for 15 years. We have now run for 15 and a quarter years as of March, 15 and a half as of last month. We have 2 more issues due out this year, and the staff and I have decided to continue breaking that record with a 16th volume in 2011. So we will be publishing 4 more issues at least in 2011. Subscriptions are available immediately. Prices are not going up. Domestic, that is United States customers can subscribe for $19 for 4 years, 4 issues, and international subscribers for $26. Subscriptions will be available online and at the vendor fair this afternoon. Now, having published for so many years, we have a lot of content that we have developed over the years. And even among the staff, we are starting to lose track of it all. Not in that we don't have the data, it is still stored either with one of the editors or the publishers, but trying to, like, even as a reader, having to flip through 58 issues to find the article you wanted, who wrote that article, or what was the first issue that Andy wrote for, or where were all the different parts of that series. It's becoming very challenging to keep track of it all. So Juiced.GS staff member Mike McGinnis has poured through all 58 issues that we have published to date and has created a comprehensive online index where you can find anything that has ever been written in Juiced.GS. This is a free online resource. It is completely searchable. The default sorting is by volume, then issue, then page, numerically. So it's chronological, in other words. But you can sort by any other column that you want. Type, author, summary. You can sort by multiple columns by shift clicking. You can ascending or descending order. You can change how many rows are shown per page. And the searching is the most useful function. So for example, Richard Bennett did a series called Outback Emulation. So if you type Outback Emulation, there are all the results. You can click on volume, issue, and page to get a complete chronological listing of all his articles in that series. You can also click on the page number, and I'll immediately go to a verbose listing of that article. That includes the headline and subheadline as well, and everything else that's in that issue. Click back to go back to the index. It saves the searches that you were just doing, thanks to Ivan, who suggested that. You can search on multiple different columns. For example, I wrote an article a couple years ago called Tips and Tricks, but there have been many articles in the Tips and Tricks series. I have written many articles, so if you search on Gagne tricks, there it is. You can also export this to your own computer via clipboard, comma separated value file, Excel, or you can print whatever your current search results are showing. Most of these functions require JavaScript, and of course the Apple II doesn't support that in its web browser. So we do have just a sort of drill down index that lists all the volumes chronologically. Click on the one you want, and it goes to a listing of all of those issues. Click on the issue you want, and it goes specifically to all the contents of that issue. You can click on the picture to get larger. Any questions about the index? Jim?
On the search just set headers and subheaders, or does it actually search text?
It is searching all the data that you see in this table. It is not searching headline or subheadline, which is available only in that more verbose listing. If you're looking for something that you think you know by headline, you can actually try the site search right here, which does search the entire site. I have enough of those things. And that will also give you some listings. They might not be as precise as what you would get in a table, but it will produce more results as well. Any other questions? Now, another question I've been getting over the years, besides where do I find this content, is how can I read it? I don't want to read it in hard copy, I want to read it online. This is the digital era. Everything should be online. And that's something that the staff and I continue to talk about how to, I might go up to my slides again, about how to keep Juiced.GS current and what format that should take, and how it should complement or replace existing formats. I work in the magazine publishing industry as my day job. I'm also currently pursuing a master's in magazine publishing at night. And two things I've learned are, or the two main reasons I've seen for magazines to switch to a digital format is, one, the advertisers are switching to online. You need to follow them. And two, the subscribers are switching to online. You need to follow them. And I'd like to address how both of those factors impact Juiced.GS. In the typical magazine, this is where their revenue comes from. Less than half of it actually comes from the fee that subscribers pay to get the issue in the mail. The vast majority of their revenue comes from advertisers. The reason they want subscribers is because then they can tell advertisers, we have that many readers that you will penetrate with this in our market by placing advertisement in our magazine. With Juiced.GS, the numbers are a little bit different. So far in 2010, our revenue sources have looked like this. And in a way, this is fantastic because it's kind of like being a privately owned company instead of one with shareholders that you need to address. We don't need to do what the advertisers want. We don't need to go where they tell us. We can make the decisions that impact and accommodate our readers and nobody else. And that's a great thing. So what do the readers want? Do they want Juiced.GS to switch to a PDF or a CD or some other format? Well, I look at the numbers, and I think the subscribers have spoken pretty clearly. This is what our subscription numbers have looked like in the last 7 years. It's been going up every year for 4 years in a row. In fact, right now, our numbers are higher than they've ever been in the last 8 years. Customers seem very happy with a hard copy product. They find value in a tangible magazine. And I'm not sure that we can introduce a PDF format without threatening this trend. And maybe it's possible, maybe if we introduced a PDF that was only available with the hard copy, that might work. But it's not something we're willing to do just yet. We've also looked at an EPUB format that would be compatible with the Apple iPad, but right now there is no easy and obvious way to convert the Juiced.GS production process into an EPUB output, which is strange because we're using Apple's software to put Juiced.GS together, and it doesn't support Apple's hardware. So maybe in the future. What about back issues? If future issues aren't going to be available in PDF, how about the old ones that have already gone to print and nobody's reading anymore? Well, people actually still are reading back issues. Now, this is not a timeline. This is different volumes of Juiced.GS and how many back issues I have sold. You can see that 2002, like 8 years ago, is still very popular. People are ordering back issues from 8 years ago because maybe they've just heard about Juiced.GS and they want to catch up. A lot of people tell me that. I never heard about this and now I want to read everything, or I stopped subscribing for a few years and now I want to complete my collection. And they're willing to do that in hard copy, which I think is great. So we're going to keep these volumes available in hard copy only. But I do understand that getting all these issues after you've missed a few years can be very expensive. $16 a volume adds up very quickly, especially when there's specific content that you're looking for. Like if you're looking for Ivan's recent series on structured applesauce, you would have to go to the index, which we now have online, and find out that it started in volume 14 and ended in volume 15. But right there, just to read 2 articles are 2 different volumes you need to buy. It's $32 just for 2 articles. And we don't purposely spread it across volumes, but sometimes we can't help it. Like Ewan's series that's currently in publication about file transfer methods was intended to run 4 articles and span just volume 15. So you can buy the entire volume and have the entire series. Turned out that was ambitious and there's too much content to fit into 4 articles. We've spread it across 5, which means it's going into volume 16. We don't want you to have to buy volume 16 just to get that 5th and final part. So we came up with something new. an entirely new brand of Juiced.GS products, which we are calling Juiced.GS Concentrate. These are thematic packs of juiced content that have been previously published and assembled into a single PDF that you can buy online and download and read and keep on your computer. These are going to be available online immediately. We already have 3 to begin with. The first is Back to Basics. It has Ivan's series on structured applesauce, Martin's article on 10 things you never knew about integer basic, some other various programming articles like Eric Shepard's review of GSoft Basic when it first came out, my review of some applesauce tutorials and instruction manuals, and also some other programming articles about how to use Basic to do new things. We have TCP/IP for Dummies, which is a 3-part series that you and Wenup wrote across several years, which tells you everything you need to know to write 16-bit internet applications for the Apple IIgs. You can now buy that in a single volume. And we have Podcasting 101, which is just 2 articles. It is a look at the hardware and software that Carrington Vanston uses to produce 1 megahertz podcast, and then also an interview with Carrington Vanston. These concentrates will have variable prices depending on how much content is in each one. The rule of thumb, or the rough guideline that I'm using, is $2.50 per article that is in the volume. So if I recall correctly, Basics will be $12.50, TCP/IP for Dummies is $10, and Podcasting 101 is $5. We intend to produce multiple concentrates throughout the year, continuously expanding our catalog using the content that has already been published in Juiced.GS. Any questions? We have a long list of ideas of Juiced.GS concentrates that we want to assemble. There are a lot of topics that we have covered. Some are intentional series where it comes part 1, 2, 3, 4. Others are just thematic ideas, like an interview with Jason Scott paired with a review of BBS the documentary, paired with a review of Get Lamp, paired with Margaret Anderson's guide to interactive fiction on the internet. That would be a cohesive package that you can have for $10. Martin?
The concentrate's going to go back before 2002?
Yes. In fact, the Back to Basics article has Eric Shepard's review of GSoft Basic from when it first came out in September of 1998.
Cool.
We are relying primarily on content that was published after 2002, but as has been demonstrated in this initial product launch, we are using content from before. That content is not as accessible to me, but once I get it in my hands, I can do whatever I want with it. So, yes. And we do have a new online store because the one we were using did not support digital sales. Just really nothing too fancy. Subscriptions, concentrated back issues. I mean, online stores aren't exciting. You go online, you buy what you want, and you get out. And that's it. So, we take PayPal, we take credit card, and using this new online store, you can actually submit your purchase order, print out a receipt, and then mail it with a check. So when you go online, there are 2 options: pay online or pay by check. So, I mean, we've always accepted payments by check, but you have to print out a different form, fill that out with your information. There was nothing being submitted digitally, no customer information whatsoever. Basically, the check came in the mail, and I had no idea that it was coming. Now I know you've placed an order, and I'll let you know. Now your payments arrived, and now complete your order. You can even pay by check for Juiced.GS concentrates. The download will not become accessible until after payment is received. Any other questions? Jim?
Do current issues go up on this archive, or how long do you wait before you
Do you mean the index?
the index? That's right.
Yes, the index will be updated within the week of each issue being published. So it will be kept current. And in the future, we may even index additional material, like what photos were in each issue and who was pictured in each issue. So instead of, when you search by a name, instead of just getting who wrote that stuff, you can also see where they were actually pictured, which would be cool. But for now, this is the only content that we have. Yeah, and you can even search by advertisements. It was. Mike McGinnis. Yeah. Anything else? Jim?
No, if this is off topic, no.
I will.
Okay, I know you would. But I don't see a .gs an acceptable?
It belongs to the Sandwich Islands. Every country has its own top-level domain, and .gs is an acceptable domain within the Sandwich Islands. So that is where we are registered.
Okay.
Cool. Beautiful. Well, thank you very much. Field trip?
Field trip.
Yeah.
Sandwich.
Juiced sandwich. So, and as always, issues before 2002 are available from Civicom through the Friends for Life. And on a completely unrelated note, there's another retrocomputing magazine out there called 300 Baud. It just started this year. It's only on its second issue. There is no subscription option. You have to pay per individual issue. There is a full review on my website, but the magazine is about that big. It's booklet form, almost like an instruction manual. It's 40 pages printed in full color. And it's pretty cool. It doesn't cover any one particular platform. It's retrocomputing in general. It is a print magazine. So we're not the only ones out there. It's unlikely that they'll ever break the records we have, which is why I feel comfortable advertising for them.
So subscribe to Juiced.GS first, then.
Well, of course. I mean, you can't get these guys at the vendor fair. So if you have any money left when you get home from KFest, check out 300baudmagazine.com.
$300 magazine.
300 baud. Cool. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Quick question for you. Does your store handle international?
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I was having a problem when I was testing it that it kept defaulting to Afghanistan. So, but
So Afghanistan works.
Yeah, I assume we'll be able to subscribe to the 2011 vendor fair.
Oh yeah, yeah, I said that.
Do you have the records of when our subscriptions expire?
Subscriptions continue to run by the calendar year. So if you are subscribed for 2010, you will get 4 issues this year. If you go to the vendor fair today and subscribe for 2010, you will get the first 2 issues immediately, and then 2 more in the mail, and then your subscription will expire. I do have records of who my subscribers are.
So you would just take our subscription and apply it, just add it on to the end of whatever.
If you want to subscribe to 2011, it doesn't matter whether or not you're subscribed to 2010. I will take your money. Mike?
No Juiced.GS calendar this year?
No Juiced.GS calendars, but thank you for bringing that up. The color postcards you had in your welcome packet with the KansasFest 2009 group photo will be available. Why is Ed waving at me? Ed?
Because you're supposed to hold them for me.
Oh, that's right. Those postcards will be for sale from GameBits, that's me, at the vendor fair. I'll be selling them 2 for $1 or 5 for $2. So that is our accessory this year, instead of a calendar. The calendars did go over well. I brought 25 to last year's event, I sold 20. Went home, sold 5 more. Ordered another 10, sold about 7 of those, gave away 3 as Christmas gifts. And that was a good run. It was a fun experiment. We might do something else in the future. I would really like to have an online gallery that shows maybe 40 pictures from past issues of Juiced.GS and have everybody vote on their favorite 12. And then those 12 will get mass produced into a calendar for KansasFest. But I couldn't figure out how to do that this year, and I was working on the postcards and concentrate and the index and everything else. So no calendar this year, but I appreciate everybody who partook a bit last year, and I look forward to accommodating you again in the future. Anything else? Greg?
The PDF that are available, the Juiced.GS concentrate those in color.
Yes, they are in full color. They do not have a lot of the standards of Juiced.GS. They don't have a masthead. They don't have an editorial on the second page. They actually let me pull one up for you. Yes. Oh, you can't see it. Here it is. So here's the 1 megahertz for the podcasting basic concentrate whatever. And it just goes right into podcasting 101. And down here at the bottom, it actually said where this issue was, where this article was originally published. December 2006, volume 11, issue 4. And as you go through the issue, that might actually change. March 2007, volume 12, issue 1. That way you always know where it came from. So if you want to go back to the original issue or the original volume, that's where it is. However, the page does refer to this actual concentrate. It doesn't jump from like 3 to 12 to 7. I thought that might be a bit too confusing. That picture is in black and white because it was taken in black and white. I wish I could convert it for you, but so not too much color in this particular issue. There's that, and there's the cover. But yes, the reason we don't print hard copies in color is due to price, and we don't have that expense with the PDF. Jim?
Does Juiced.GS have possession or access to other past Apple II publications?
No. Sean Fahey announced last night that all Resource Central publications will be available online through the Lost Classics. And you can get GS Plus through Syndicom and Nibble through Mike Harvey, et cetera, et cetera. Usually you have to go to the original copyright holder, but they're pretty available. For example, Computus is available from Mike McGinnis, free online. So most of these are available from somewhere, but the only one, Shareware Solutions 2, is now available through Lost Classics and Tony Diaz. But Juiced.GS is just Juiced.GS.
Okay, thank you.
Right?
You just answered my question.
Which one?
Shareware Solutions.
Yes, I'm pretty sure you can pick up hard copies from Tony at the Better Fair. If not, every single issue is available as a PDF from either Tony or Ewan Wenham, who has a mirror. So, great. And now we're running out of time. Actually, we ran out of time 15 minutes ago, and I don't want to keep Ivan waiting. So his session is next. I hope you'll stick around for it. Thank you.